Welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I am Omotayo Alo. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on Nigerians to build bridges of unity, not mind in religious, ethnic or political party affiliations for the survival of the country. Osinbajo gave this charge in his remark at the Thanksgiving service in honor of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, at the Ekwa Church, Wuse Abuja. The Vice President extolled the virtues of simplicity and humility of the SGF, describing him as a man who brought great sense of humor and simplicity to the State House. He said the APC represented the coming together of Christians and Muslims, as well as the coming together of different tribes. Osinbajo said that God created everyone equal, not on the basis of religion or tribe, and he loves all in spite of one's faults and problems. Osinbajo said that Nigerians should be excited about the composition of those in government due to their high level of spirituality, noting that by honoring God, the SGF had drawn himself and office nearer to God. Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima has set May 29, 2016 as the deadline for the relocation and rehabilitation of millions of internally displaced persons in the state back to their homelands. The governor also disclosed that there is an urgent need for the federal government to give Borno State more prominent attention over the two states of Adamawa and Yobe, which are equally affected by the Boko Haram insurgency. He noted that the rule of fairness dictates that Borno State be given more assistance than the two other states. The former secretary to the government of the Federation, Olufalaye, has faulted the Department of State Service (DSS) while parading two of the suspected kidnappers in Abuja that they are mere criminals looking for money for Salah and wedding. Falaye, while receiving members of the Odua People's Congress led by Gani Adams in Obaile House in Akure, he disclosed that the hoodlums were not after money alone but aimed to kill him by shooting at his vehicle when they stormed this farm, thinking he was inside a car. The Afenifere leader, who used the occasion to further review what he went through in the hands of his abductors, stated that he considered his suffering in the hands of his kidnappers as a blessing until Yoruba people are liberated from Fulani headsmen attack. The place of technology in the 21st century cannot be overemphasized, and as Nigeria appears to be, of course, in the front line of technology, the testing of a security device developed at the Ekiti State University represents another step in this direction. The developer says the multifunctional device is a game changer in addressing some of the security challenges facing the country and corruption. Rashid has more.
Whenever talk shifts to the status of nations of the world, Nigeria is always referred to as a developing nation because of its economic and technological dependence. But the tide may be changing with this breakthrough in the invention of an indigenous security device developed at the Ekiti State University. Dubbed Int Police, it's an integrated platform for the generation of national identification number, which can also be used by security agents in checking of crime and corruption.
Int Police that was developed equally works for loopholes, blockage, for corruption reduction. We equally have a support for security breaches containment and criminality acts reduction. It also provides for traffic offenses and violation reduction. What are we talking about? These are areas where advanced countries used to make money.
The inventor called on the federal government to deploy the device, which has been certified by the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology.
The president and those who are involved in economic matters is to embrace a technology like this to drive the economy of Nigeria, either in the area of security, in the area of economy. All that we have been talking about is what is called activity-based.
The internet-based electronic policing device covers diverse areas of application and has been activated for testing. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Minister-designate and immediate past governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, At the weekend, claimed the Twitter account purportedly set up in his name along with a picture, urging members of the public to be wary of the antics of scammers. He reiterated that his Twitter account remains at Tunde Fashola and not at Governor_Raji Fashola, according to a statement signed by Special Advisor in Media Akim Bello at the weekend. Fashola said it was unfortunate that despite repeated warnings and disclaimers, certain unscrupulous elements still engage in the act of defrauding unsuspecting members of the public through different social media platforms falsely linked to him. It should be recalled that Governor Fashola also recently drew attention to his Twitter account and disassociated himself from a Facebook scam whereby some unscrupulous persons use his photographs and ascribe fictitious statements to him on fake Facebook accounts aimed at defrauding innocent people, advising members of the public to always clarify with the appropriate agencies of government at all levels before engaging in any dealings with people. We'll be back with more stories after the break.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Political Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Welcome, and if you're just joining us, it's CoreTV News at 4. For more than news and information, visit our social media platform facebook.com/CoreTV News, a Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space in news. As the governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, celebrates 1 year in office, this was heralded with the commissioning and inspection of various projects in the state. In this special report, CoreTV's Rashid takes a look at the performance of the Ayodele Fayose-led government and its assessment by the people of the state. The report.
When you measure satisfaction, when you measure performance, when you measure contribution, you measure them within available resources. Within available resources, we have done more than enough.
With a year under his belt as governor of Ekiti State once again, Ayodele Fayose was at his best in rating his work so far. While the yardstick may differ, the people also have their say on the matter, with Aduni Olayika Center as a case point.
Since my coming now, that women's center is at no cost to Ekiti State government.
Can you explain that to us?
It has no cost to Ekiti State government. It's born out of my effort to develop this state when we don't have money. Reaching out.
The building that is standing right in front of the government house. And I know clearly for sure that that building was meant to be in Exu. It's one of the projects that was meant to be in Exu, which is TED Fund project. It's now here in Ado.
While the governor says most of the allocation of Ekiti goes to payment of salaries, the bailouts for the state is a major sticking point.
That workers' salary is number one. The bulk of the money that comes to these states in the last 1 year has been used to pay workers' salaries. When they talk about bailout, I've said that responsibility for the debt. But this bailout were not money owed by my administration.
Is being paid in 1 or 2 as if they are now invoking the divide and rule in respect of the bailout. So there was a time the secondary school teachers, about last week, they were paid. The primary school teachers were not paid. Concerning the core civil service, the way the pay bailout is being paid is not encouraging. That's not the intention of the federal government.
The airport project is also seen as a major issue, especially the controversies surrounding it.
We have done the enumeration and we're working together, and they will be paid accordingly. There's no problem with that. I mean, this is an ongoing project that will benefit not only the local people, but obviously everybody in the state.
This is what the constitution of my social. Come and say we should go to farm, we should work. The system of giving somebody 1 farm in a year and one about for your life. And you can't that for the damage this property. It's a 4-1 system.
While the governor beats his chest, former Governor Shegoni says it's all fallacies.
I have a 4-year term, and it's an ongoing process. Some that are not finished, is ongoing. It's still within the administration. But like I said to you, we will leave no project uncompleted. We will finish and make it accessible, serviceable for the use of our people within shortest possible time.
We are in a house of deceit. We have been taking him into a one-chance vehicle. He may turn around as a result of this and what other people are saying. He may start work tomorrow. This first year is a non-starter.
With the 2018 election still 3 years away, the perception of the people will surely determine what happens at the polls. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The police have arrested 72 suspected cattle rustlers in the notorious Falgore Forest in Tudunwa, the local government area of Kano State. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Mohammed Kassina, disclosed this while presenting the suspect and the animals to newsmen at Kawana Dawaki and Dawakin Kudu local government area of the state on Sunday. The suspects were presented in the presence of the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Muhammad Sanusi II, and Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. Kassina said the police had also recovered 818 cattle in addition to large cache of arms, fake military and police uniforms as well as jams used by the suspect. According to him, the police also killed 3 of the suspects, including one Umaru Dogo India, a Senegalese national who led a gang of bandits that maimed, raped and ransacked the entire Gidan Kara village in Somalia local government area of the state. The coalition of southern socio-political groups in Ondo State has advocated for a special consideration to produce the next governor of the state from the area in the next year's governorship election. The Southern District had recorded huge successes for the People's Democratic Party in all the elections held in the area since 1999, and the new agitation is that now is the time for payback for the party. The coordinator of CSSG, Adeomi Adebisi, argued that there is a need to put an end to the socio-political imbalance and deliberate marginalization of the Southern Senatorial District. The group, which is an umbrella body of all the socio-political groups in the area, claimed the 2016 election in Ondo State must redress the anomaly by ensuring that a governor of the southern extraction takes the reins of next government. He added that the zone is endowed with a pool of seasoned technocrats, astute administrators, political savvy and development-oriented individuals needed in the state. The coordinator stated that the group is rooting for the sustenance of democratic values, maintained that it is necessary to preserve the impressive legacies of past government. In the light of dwindling financial resources and inability of government to pay salaries, the fear of whether state governors will be able to fulfill their electoral promises has become a growing concern in the country. Our correspondent spoke with a member of the Imo State House of Assembly on the state's free education program, and he files in this report.
Eche Ediogo, a member of Imo State House of Assembly, former chairman of SUBEB and former commissioner of education, in an interview with CoreTV News in Owerri, disclosed the challenges and how they are being tackled.
Initially, it wasn't easy for us to embark on this free education because teachers have already engaged themselves in petty training, even in the classroom, because they were not paid, no salary. The first thing His Excellency did was to make sure every 20 to 22nd of every month, salaries are paid.
According to her, the teachers enjoy prompt payment of salaries, and the students, on their part, win laurels each time they represent the state in any competition, either locally or internationally.
Teaching is now very enjoyable. Teaching profession is very enjoyable. So they don't want to miss it. And when you say, I will sack you, if you don't drop this, I will sack you, they'll drop it.
The issue of vandalism of government properties is another challenge the authority is concerned about.
Now, vandalization, my dear, is an appalling situation. I was asking them, why do you allow these beautiful, magnificent buildings to be vandalized? Because they were not involved. The governor save his money, carried it, come and put it in the front of your house. They don't know the value.
She, however, called on every community to be mindful of government projects in their place and protect them.
Staff of tertiary institutions in Kwara State have declared an indefinite strike following the non-payment of 6-month salary arrears by the state government. Addressing journalists after an emergency meeting with the members, the starter chairman of the Committee of Union in Tertiary Institutions, Abdul Karim Konike, noted that several efforts made to let government see reasons fell on deaf ears, while the government on its part urged the unions to utilize their internal generated revenue to offset the arrears as the dwindling revenue could not make it meet its obligations. Rashid has more.
Members of the Committee of Union in Tertiary Institutions, comprising 5 institutions in Kwara, have been at loggerheads with the state government for the past 3 months over the non-payment of salary arrears. Briefing their members on the effort made so far, the state chairman of the committee, Abdul Karim Konike, informed them that all efforts made for government to pay their 6-month salaries arrears did not yield fruitful results. Addressing journalists, the committee says it has no option than to declare indefinite strike starting from Monday, having exhausted all peaceful means.
Today, we have all agreed. Our people has given us a mandate. And that mandate we took to the meeting we had with the permanent secretary yesterday and all the management of the tertiary institution. Our entitlement of 6 months salary should be paid at the expiration of 14th October 2015. And with the government position as of yesterday that the reality is they don't have money. Our people has given us a mandate from Oro to Lafiaji to Ilori to Kais. That if the reality with the government is that they don't have the money, then the reality to them is that they can no longer work without payment. So therefore, we have assembled here, we have evaluated that mandate, and the reason is, the decision is we are going on industrial action.
Reacting, government spokesperson Muhyiddin Akorede agreed that the government is owing but not up to 6 months. He blamed the situation on fall in revenue from the Federation account and urged the higher institutions to make judicious use of internally generated revenue to pay salaries.
And as I speak to you, government officials are working around the clock to try to raise the funds to pay subventions to the tertiary institutions, all parastatal including tertiary institutions. So it's unfortunate that they have chosen not to recognize the government's efforts to solve this problem, knowing that this is a national problem. It's not limited to Kwara State. Secondly, those institutions are revenue generating. They generate funds, and it is government's expectation that they should be able to use the funds so generated to pay their workers and suspend any infrastructural projects pending the resolution of this financial crisis.
As both the unions and governments took their respective stands, it is hoped that the issue will be settled soon to guard against total collapse of higher education in the state. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
Ezelsu Ariri village in Uguta local government area of Imo State has been taken over by flood. The incident, which started gradually 3 days ago, is degenerated into a huge problem, causing both loss of lives and property. CoreTV News Imo State correspondent at Jibadia Ofeso visited the ugly scene and filed in this report.
It was about an hour drive from the city of Owerri to the affected areas. Gaining access to the people was another struggle. The entire roads were flooded. Most of the people affected by the flood were farmers who have decided to live close to their farms. Cross-section of the victims reacts to the huge loss they have encountered.
We see the flood. Come carry all of our cassava, yam, our house. Many people still there from come out.
My people now, they live inside water. And the place there and living now, water don't go around. But the only help now where God give us now that say the water don't quench. You know they live again. Now boat and like we go there. We need help.
Businesses affected as operators of fuel stations within the axis shut down completely. The people traumatized and dejected have resorted to medium and mini canoes for transportation. They are indeed subjected to lots of hardship. Deputy Chief of Staff to Governor Rocha Sokocha, who was there, confirmed this.
Because from what we are seeing, the whole of this environment is a threat to humanity. It's a threat to the people because you have a lot of reptiles, snake. You can see you can see for yourself that some of the other food, seafood, have been thrown away by the water.
So far, 4 people have been confirmed dead.
I got information that in the last 4 days ago, I think in the last 4 days ago or 5 days ago, that some lives were lost. About 2 or 3, 4 lives were lost in the last 4 days ago, and we sympathize with the families of the deceased. The government of Imo State will come to see them in due course.
While disbursing the little relief materials and food items available to the victims, the rancor experience shows clearly that it was not enough. Proactive measure is, however, required of the government to provide adequate help for these internally displaced persons. Ajibabe Awofeso, CoreTV News, Ogota.
We'll take a break now and we'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria and more.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And from outside Nigeria, thousands of residents of the northern Philippines were forced to flee as typhoon couple began at a multi-day battering of the region. The fierce storm is focused to lumber over the country's main island of Luzon at an excruciatingly slow pace and dump huge amounts of rain on the rugged terrain, setting off floods and sidelines. Couple came ashore in the early hours of Sunday morning at super typhoon strength, ripping the roofs off buildings and uprooting trees in the coastal province of Aurora. Polls have opened in Egypt in the first round of long-delayed elections to choose a new parliament. They are the first such elections since the previous chamber was dissolved by a court ruling in 2012. The authorities say the poll is the final step in the transition to democracy. However, critics say most candidates are supporters of the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and the new parliament is likely to strengthen its control. President Sisi is a former general who led the 2013 military overthrow of Islamist President Mohamed Morsi following a month of unrest. And now to sport. Despite beating Burkina Faso 2-0 in the 2016 CHAN qualifier, Nigeria coach Sunday Olise has warned his team that are yet to win anything. Goals by the Bature Yaro and Balaon Salami in either half handed Nigeria a 2-0 home win on Saturday, but they face a tough rematch in Ouagadougou next week. The Burkina Faso coach blamed individual errors for his team's loss. The overall winners of this matchup over 2 legs will advance to the final tournament in Rwanda in January. Chairman of the NFF Technical and Development Committee, Chief Felix Anyansi Agu, has praised the Golden Eaglet for a brilliant start to the defense of their FIFA Under-17 World Cup with a 2-0 defeat of USA in Santiago on Saturday. Second half goals by Chukwudi Ago and Victor Osimhen gave the reigning world champions 3 points from their first game and immense confidence ahead of a potentially explosive clash with host nation Chile on Tuesday night. The Eaglets dominated throughout but finished in anxious first half goalless before they underscored their superiority in the second period. It could be recalled that the President Muhammad Buhari, has ordered them to win the cup for the 5th time. Golden Eaglets head coach Emmanuel Amunike has described Saturday's 2-0 win over the United States of America as a morale booster for the players in the quest to successfully defend the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Chukwudi Agho and Victor Osimhen gave Nigeria a winning start courtesy of 2 second-half goals against the Americans at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup Chile 2015. Amunike said the victory against the USA was important for the team. He congratulated the boys for making Nigeria proud. The Golden Eaglets will, in the meantime, hit the road on Sunday for Vina del Mar, where they will play host Chile at the 24,000 capacity stadium in South Los on Tuesday. Novak Djokovic produced an imperious performance as he cruised to a 6-1, 6-3 victory over Andy Murray to reach the final of the Shanghai Masters. Murray was brushed aside in a one-sided contest as the 28-year-old Serb reached his 13th consecutive ATP Tour final. Murray had looked confident in his quarter-final victory over Thomas Berdych, but found Djokovic in irresistible form. Djokovic broke Murray 5 times in the match and committed just 7 unforced errors to 30 for his opponent. And it's a wrap on CoreTV News at 4. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Omotayo Alo. Bye for now.